Hello YouTubers, Reloading Bench back with you once again. And these two bags in this box represent a we're gonna make some shit this week video. So this is the part one. I don't know how many segments it will be, but I was talking to a buddy about the mini mill as well as the mini lathe. And his question was, do you run any fluid? And I'm like, no, I run them dry. And he's like, why don't you consider a mister? I'm like, I don't want to spend the money. He's like, oh, they're really easy to make. So, of course, I jump online. And my first thought was, let's look at a ready-made solution. So this Kool Mist solution is about $335 plus tax plus shipping. So we're going to call this about $400. So this would be your professional at the low end side, you know, for the mini mill, mini lathe. Then there's this on the rainforest, and this is about $100, but you still need a compressor with both of these. And I don't need a dual situation. Single is fine. So I thought, I'm going to see what it would cost for me to make something like this. So this little arm is like 18 bucks on the rainforest. The blue cables and adapters, another 15, 16 bucks. This reservoir is just going to be, you know, some kind of bottle that I poke a hole in it. And then I picked up a few years ago, when I did my flooring, I picked up a little airbrush kit. And that airbrush kit allowed me to fill in some areas, spray in some areas where the wood would show through, where the, you know, the unfinished wood would show through as the wood separates in the cold. So I then went and looked online to see what folks are doing and what parts they're doing it with. And I thought, okay, I'm going to try and make something. So this unboxing is the parts, I think, that will allow me to make something. And I think I might have bought the wrong magnet. I bought by price. Okay. Why would a magnet come with a chuck? Okay, so it's the right size magnet, but why does it have a chuck? Maybe it's not necessarily a chuck as much as it is a way to lift it. I don't know. But we will not be using this, but we'll keep this because that's kind of cool. So, all right, so the box looked bigger. Because there were a bunch of, this was like 18 bucks on our Rainforest Friends, at our Rainforest Friends. And you'll see why I opted for this, because apparently this base is magnetic, but the cheapy ones online are not. And I like this thing because this allows me to put it, you know, wherever I want, because I have that for one of my dial indicators. This, if memory serves, is a kit, an airbrush kit that I don't need. But what was in this kit that I do need and want to use, and that's an unfortunate reality that, you know, when I did a search on the item that I needed, finding this individual item by itself, that's why it would be an individual item, was more expensive than buying this kit. Go figure. So I bought the kit, and like I said, I have an airbrush kit, and these airbrush kits are all low end. But if it helps me accomplish what I'm trying to do, more power to it. And this is the only piece I wanted or was interested in. The rest of the stuff, I'll look at it later. But this is a compressor. And I thought, how cool is this? And we might need this cable. So the rest of this stuff is of no interest to me. So apparently this has a high, medium, and low setting. And I found an old PSI indicator. And I want to say the high is 40 PSI, which is too much for this, but mine has an adjustment for both the air and the liquid. So that's hopefully what's in that box. All right, so let us open up this, not box, but bag. All right, so there should be 2 items in here. One is that purple beast. Yes. And then a whole bunch of cable adapters that will allow me to attach so the idea here is to probably I don't know that I'm going to drill or tap into this. Like I said, don't know. Maybe. I'll figure out which path I want. Most likely it's going to be something like this. So what I might do is another sheet of something. And that all came off. Not that it matters. We're on rubber. Another sheet of steel that maybe I build this off to the side, mount it. You know, I'll do something. I don't know if I'm going to be drilling into this, drilling and tapping. Then again, maybe I will for the added whatever. So this is air, and this is liquid. And I don't know that these are. Yes, they are. I was going to say I don't know that these are movable, but yes, they are. So the idea being this is your liquid, so this would be my bottle of coolant, which I didn't buy. The coolant's the most expensive stuff. So this was 18 bucks. This was like 18 bucks. So I think everything, and this was like 50 bucks. So 20, 40, 60, like $110 for everything. So I'm already at this cost, but this still needs a compressor. And I have a compressor in the garage. I do not want to use my garage compressor and having wires coiled up everywhere. You know, the air coil, the wires being the coiled air. So this will attach. Oh, is that cool? You get a little cutter. This would attach to here. See how that attaches? Just like paintball guns. So we have a shit ton of this. So, and then we have other adapters. So, you know, we could, in theory, attach, I don't know that, we'll do some building right now. Let's see what we've got here. This looks, oh no, they're not female. So I need, yeah. What am I gonna do? Again, buying this alone or buying it in this kind of kit was almost the same cost. So, I suppose I could heat this up. No, there's no way that's gonna No way. No way that's going to go. So, I don't have a double coupler. No. What size do I need? This one. So it looks like I need a female to female coupler if I'm going to test the PSI. Or is this the... No, that figures. Not the same size, because that's that airbrush stuff. So, again, it looks like I'm going to need a female to female 1/4 inch adapter and a female, if this is, I don't know, I'll bring these to the store. It looks like I need one of these adapters, and what's the other size? So I need this size, not this one. Was it this one? Yes. So I need these 2 adapters, which I'm pretty confident in the brass aisle of my local shop. These exist. So I will find those, which will then allow me. So this was good stuff, which will then allow me to hook this up and then test the hook it up to the air compressor. So it looks like, yeah, because I don't have anything that would allow. Yeah, I just don't have. I don't have any adapters. That's a bummer. Constantly in live and learn mode. Constantly. All right. So again, the idea is to build something that would allow me, and I don't know if I have any scrap metals, you know, something off to the side, I don't know, to mount this like this, so that then this would be portable to wherever I want to adapt it to. And I'm looking just for a very light mist, the lightest of mist. And let's plug this Fuker in. See if it actually has 3 levels of output, because I don't know. But again, I just thought it was interesting. $350, come on. $100, I've already spent the $100, so you know I'm okay spending $100 if I can get this working. But again, this still needed a compressor, so this would have been another $50 on top of this one, so 150, 160. I think there were a couple of these that, there was only one that had free shipping and free returns. The rest of them were, I think, $15 or $20 cheaper in terms of the price, but they all had a delivery charge, and none of them had free returns. So I would only buy and pay more for the option of free return and free delivery. So this one I think was like $115. So when you add this $50, 50 some odd dollars for the compressor, you know, you're stepping up. You're not $350, $400 stepping up, but you're starting to add up. All right, we're green, so we have power. And again, I have a little mini compressor for my paint brush, my airbrush rather, but this is like uber tiny. So if this can consistently put out, you know, so hard for me to tell which is. I'm going to assume that green is low. I don't think it came with instructions, did it? Maybe it did, and I just didn't bother looking. Red is always... Yeah, I think yellow is the lowest setting. So it's about as loud as my my airbrush compressor, but my airbrush compressor has a tank. So this obviously has no tank. So you're going to hear this constantly, whereas at least with my airbrush compressor, it would turn off. Okay, so green is high, blue is medium, yellow is low. And it didn't really sound like there was a difference. You can hear the difference between, so there's high, you can hear it step down. I didn't really hear that step down. So the other option is to add a PSI, I forget what it's called, regulator. That was escaping me. The other option is to add a regulator. That's probably another 15 bucks. A regulator to the mix to dial this down. But again, I want to say high is 40, then it's 30, then it was, I think, 20 or 25. So the fact that I can adjust the airflow with this means I can then restrict it. So I'm not so worried about PSI as I am the mist that's coming out of there. So if I can turn this down, which it looks like I can, to all the way off. So if this is my fine tuning, I would set this to the lowest setting, then use this as my adjuster, and then lock it in. Same thing with water flow. How to restrict the water flow, how much to restrict the water or not. So it looks like we've got our tasks ahead of us. Of course, there is no us because it's me. So me will be busy doing some, it doesn't look like there's an on and off button. That's cute. So, you know, this would just go off to the side on the mini lathe or the mini mill. And again, blue, this goes to my water bottle. And I'd probably get some kind of cup holder, magnetic cup holder. So that would mount to somewhere on the stand, on the chip guard, on the wherever. And it would hold my little bottle of Kool Mist or whatever fluid I'm going to be using. That would be close to this. And I've got enough tubing that I could go around the garage a few times, so that where I put this is not so dependent. I mean, you know, in theory, I could even put it under. Yeah, it'll fit neatly. I'm looking over at the mini mill, and it would fit under the table. Yeah, man, I don't want to get a whole bunch of shit on it, so maybe I'm putting it, you know, in the cabinet, and I'm drilling a hole for the tubing. I'm not sure. We'll see how that plays out. But I've got my tasks ahead of me in terms of how I'm going to build this thing, put it together. I mean, it's not complicated. It's actually quite simple if you have all the parts, which I do not. So that's the next course of action, because I don't feel like spending this kind of money. I mean, this is a buy once, cry once, but again, you still need a compressor. And then you've got a solenoid up here. This one, some of them showed a solenoid, some of them didn't. So, you know, again, hard to tell what ships, but it doesn't really matter because I'm not going to buy it. And if I did, it would be a free return. So if it showed up with a surprise, then back it goes. But that's where we're at, and more to come later. This I'll call a mini update. Went to the hardware store and picked up a coupler so I could use one of the adapters that came with the tubing. And I was also thinking, I mean, this will fit nicely on the the mill or the lathe. I was thinking of using potentially magnets. Again, this is very lightweight. I was reading the instructions on here, and it says don't use for more than 60 minutes. Do not let the compressor work over 60 minutes without assembling the hose and the airbrush, which I thought was kind of interesting. So it can sit here and run for 60 minutes by itself, apparently. I did decide to mount this directly. I've seen different videos where people mount this on the rear, and I've seen it on the front, so I chose to keep all the controls up front. I was also thinking about drilling and tapping in the back so that I could flip this at some point if need be. Since that need not be at this point, I'm not going to worry about it. And I decided to use the bolts with, or excuse me, the nuts with the bolts so that I could tighten, once I have the bolt screwed in, I could tighten that against this frame for a little more rigidity. And I mean, it's in there. And you'll see I'll mount this in a couple of different places on the actual mini mill. So we have a working, it's no longer a prototype, it's the real McCoy. I decided to order a magnetic cup holder and a small regulator, because the three settings, the low, medium, and high, I think the low might still be a little too maybe if I should turn it on. So that green is high, and that's, I don't know if the audio is picking this up. And we have medium, and then we have low. And even at the low, I'm gonna see if adjusting this this little gauge over here really does anything. Oh, it does. Okay. So this, maybe that negates my need for the, yeah, I would say I do not need, wow, that's really low. That's interesting. So since and then you can hear it, maybe you can't hear it. Let's see, that's high, medium, and that's low. The medium and low seem to be about the same, but it looks like this this really can change the output. So since I ordered the regulator, I'll try it, see how it is, and if it, if I don't think it adds value, back it goes. There's no reason to complicate this, and if I can figure out what my right setting is, because I'm looking for very little misting, extreme small amounts of misting. When I see flooding, I'm just like, wow, where's all that coolant slash material going? And that was one of my son's questions. And my thought was, do I drill a hole in the bed for coolant to leak out, or to siphon out? Leak is probably not the right word. And my thought was I'd be using this so sporadically, so intermittently that, actually, I wonder if it remembers the setting. Does it go blue? No. So it automatically defaults to the highest setting. So obviously, a couple taps and you're there, especially if you've already got this this analog regulator. This essentially just a way to cut it down. Yeah, that could work. That that could work. Yeah, that's really low. So I'm wondering with this with this degree of setting, when I put the, where did I put it? When I put the other pieces, when I put this in, I'll call this the siphon. So it's a vacuum. The idea behind this is a vacuum. So I'm wondering if, when I put this together, actually we could test this right now. Let me go get a okay. Let me put some water in here and fill that up, and then get a pan to see how this actually works. Back in a few. All right, so here's one option. Obviously, I can move this anywhere on the bed, and I've seen others where they actually have it mounted on the machine. So I'll show you a couple of those options as well. Another option, lower against the frame, I guess, for lack of a better word, with all the tubes coming out the backside, and obviously these are movable, so I'll redirect the tubes. I don't know if this is strong enough. Here's another option up here. Let me do that one. This is pretty solid as well. I'm shaking the whole stand. So bottom line is my options are, not relegated to just a few. Again, I guess depends where I want to run this. And I don't know if that's strong enough. I'll give that a try. That does look like an option as well. So making progress. And we have a, hopefully, maybe I should have got a different color. We're gonna dip this in our water. Hopefully that will not fall over. And let's move this in another direction, away from the electronics. And as you can see, this is dry. So we are going to turn this on and see what we get. Nothing yet. And we're on the highest setting. I'm wondering if our water needs to be at a lower level. A lower level for the gravity. So let's try that. Let's put this. So I'm going to put this on the floor just to get it at a lower level. And see if that, actually floor won't work because it's too low. Let's try this. Put my brass to work. And because I don't have this really stuck in a bottle, it's a little unwieldy to work with. I might have to, how can I do this? I don't know if that's enough. Oh, I don't know if I have the. No, I have the water all the way open. The tube for the water all the way open. So far, a fail. So I get air, but I'm not getting any water. No mist. No mist yet. So this might be a big giant failure. Maybe not enough power. Maybe this goes back. I guess we don't need the bowl because we don't have any mist coming out. Nope, no mist. All right, let me troubleshoot. Back later. Next test. Bigger thing of water. Because I don't know if this piece needs to be submerged. This, I mean, you can see the water in there, but I don't know. We're gonna find out. So we have this submerged. I'm gonna hold this below, again, the whole gravity aspect. Yeah, we're not getting any water. No water. And that valve is all the way open, and I double checked it. Yeah, I don't even know that we're getting, honestly, I don't know that water's coming beyond this little contraption. I'm not quite sure what this, I'm not quite sure what this little thing does. I'm going to yank this off. Boy, that's a tight fit. All right, back in a bit. All right, so this has been removed, and I have my water off to the side, same level as the bench, and we have some success. So I will so we got some drippy drip going. So it is misting, but it's also dripping. So I don't know if controlling the drip. Okay, that does control the drip. And I am getting mist on my finger. Let's see if Yeah. All right, so we have a drip, but at the same time, so dry finger, more moist. I don't know if you can see the, let's open that up a little. I'm trying not to let the, let me do the back of my hand. I'm trying not to let the drip thing the drip factor, again, dry finger. Wet finger. So it is misting. Unfortunately, it drips, which I do not understand what would cause the drip. But I will say that whatever this fucking thing is a preventer. So I'm going to see what things look like on the inside of here. Okay. So nothing I can really do there because that's part of whatever circuitry we got going on. Circuitry. Pieces. We got pieces. So this is not user serviceable. And if I put my hand over here, so we've got our backflow going, and then we should have some spray coming out here in a minute. If I didn't break anything. Yeah, there we go. A little too much. So the drip is annoying, but you know, I guess at the end of the day, it's doing what I need it to do. And it's spitting out fluid. Yeah, again, let me do it on the back of my hand. Dry. Staying away from the drip, so I'm staying parallel. And you can hopefully see I've got, again, the whole idea for this solution was minimal mess. And I don't know how to avoid the drip. I'm not going to really worry about that too much. But what I am going to do is reinstall this, because right now I've just got, in fact, let me back flush it, which I think is kind of cool. See if you can see that on. So it's a nice way to clean out your lines. So we will, wow, this stuff is, these are some tight tubes. I will be back. All right, so given the fact that this is so low performing, PSI wise, there is no reason for the regulator, none whatsoever in my opinion. So let me plug this back in. So I had to use heat to get this off, whatever the F this thing is. No idea what this is. Now let's see if this will work. So there's my filter. Not yet. Let me lower this. It can't get any thinner than water in terms of fluid, so. Yeah, that's interesting. So, with this in here, this particular device cannot fill this water pipe, cannot fill this water line. You can see the broken segments. But what's interesting is I can force it back. You know, I can force it in here. But, oh, did I speak too soon? No. Oh. Alright, well, back in business. Again, dry fingers. I will try and stay away from the, but you can see it's actually spitting. But unfortunately we have the drip. So I don't think there's anything I'm going to be able to do about the drip. I don't know that I'm going to worry about the drip. Maybe I should do something like that. So dry, wet. All right, so this works. Cheap as shit. All right, so we're looking at, you know, 18. I think it was 18 for the magnet. Another 16 or 18 for the vacuum hose. Another 16 for the hose. I think I spent $4 for that coupler at a local hardware store, naturally. And this was like 50 bucks. So we're looking at probably like $100 so far. Again, homemade, and does exactly what I need for the amount of money that I want to spend on this. So I'm thinking, yeah, that's about how much misting I would want on whatever I am doing. So we're going to call this a win. I mean, you know, it puts out a little bit of, I mean, there might be too much light in there. So the concern would be how full the mill bed would get with fluid. So I'll have to look and see how much fluid that can hold. But you know, we're not going through a lot of water here. Very little. Very, very little. And the beauty of this is it's reusable because it's my test water. But yeah, that's cool. So I guess the biggest issue is priming it. Yeah, it freaking works. The drip is a bummer. And I'll have to look at other folks' video to see did theirs drip. And I don't know if it's you know, because of the bends I've got in this thing. I mean, yeah, you can see it. It's spitting out. Good stuff. Yeah. All right. We are a win. So what's left? I think I've got a magnetic cup holder coming for, you know, wherever I put something like this. And that's it. All right, I'll show you finished product at some point in the near future. Later. After rereading the directions, or at least looking at the parts online, I noticed that a number of these ship with just this. And I looked and found out this is the back flow preventer. Well, this was the forward flow preventer for me, so that was garbaggio. And I went ahead. This is, I love it when tubing is new and it just wants to retain its bends. I wouldn't be surprised if I end up buying more of this, like from Home Depot or wherever. But I went ahead as I was running errands and stopped off at Tap Plastics and picked this up. This will be my reservoir bottle that we will drill a hole into, off camera probably. Put that in so that this now becomes my Kool Mist reservoir. And speaking of Kool Mist, that stuff is really expensive, like $60+ a gallon, and nobody has it for free delivery, so you're going to pay like a $12 to $15 delivery fee. But Little Machine Shop sells it by the pint for $10 a pint. So I figure we'll probably pick one or two of those up the next time I order something, because I've got my eye on a couple things that are on back order. So I'll just combine that. But I'm going to go ahead and leverage our Harbor Freight grommet assortment. And see what assortment. Okay, so obviously this isn't going to go. This might. A little big. This one might be a winner too. It looks like that's the winner. So this one should leave enough air. In worst case scenario, I could drill a second small air hole in here for the fluid to flow. So we are going to go ahead and drill this. And it looks, this is inside diameter 3/16, outside diameter of 13/32. So let me find a drill bit. I will drill this. We'll come back and we'll see what it looks like. And that was more time consuming than it should have been for a couple reasons. One, I wanted to practice to make sure I had the right grommet. And lo and behold, I found an old powder container, which would be a perfect reservoir, save for one fact. I don't know what that's from. It's not see-through or transparent enough. So, ergo, this, and this was harder to so drilling through it was not the problem. But I had to cut around this. Normally these, you know, these inside layers just peel out, but it didn't in this particular case. So we now have our reservoir. So I can keep this about 3 feet away, and my plan for the reservoir is to have a magnetic cup holder that's on its way. and I will show that when that arrives. So we're getting closer. I'll show you where I'm going to put it on the stand. All right, so the angle's not so great, but you get the idea. So depending on where the mister is sitting, I have plenty of room to put, you know, a magnetic cup holder, hoping this fits inside the magnetic cup holder. Again, with the whole gravity thing, maybe put it in the back, wherever. But there's plenty of line to feed that, and the same thing with the lathe. I don't think that'll be a problem putting a magnetic cup holder anywhere, because there's so much metal on the lathe as well. More to come. Hello YouTubers, Reloading Bench back with you once again. And I have spoken of this before, and I don't know why this feels so jumbled in here, but it does. I don't know what it is about deliveries. I don't care what carrier it is. It seems like UPS, FedEx, Post Office, whenever there's package, it's like late at night when that package gets delivered. And, you know, you'll see online, you know, out for delivery at 6:30 in the morning, and then at, you know, 9 o'clock at night, the shit shows up. You're like, 12 hours later? WTF. All right, so both of these particular items are related to my misting solution. And I hope this magnetic cup holder, all my stuff, I hope the mouth of this magnetic cup holder is big enough to accommodate my misting solution thingy. Wow, that is... Do we have to make the box that difficult to open? Apparently, yes, we do. This just wasn't doing it. All right, so you know I'm partial to Craftsman. This was some heavy-duty magnet with already some red stuff. That's interesting. I don't know what that is. Please tell me that will fit. Ooh. Perfection. Perfection. That's freaking awesome. So obviously when that has liquid in there, that's not going anywhere. All right, so that will go on the side of the cabinet. Looks like it was made for it. Yeah, baby. Yeah, buddy. Good stuff. Loves me some Craftsman. And I was noticing, I was looking at Harbor Freight, because Harbor Freight has almost the exact same thing from U.S. General. Harbor Freight's prices are starting to be quite competitive with the name brand. And that's not their space. Honestly, sorry, Harbor Freight. But when you're almost as expensive as the name brand, I'm going with the name brand. You know, $1, $2 difference. Sorry. You're supposed to be a better deal than that. Why is this sounding so junky? Okay, so I think this regulator is going to be going back. And the reason I say that is I ordered it before testing. Oh, that is why we've got all that stuff going on in there. There's actually some... The female to female is the one that was expensive. So why would you give me so many male to male when all these are male to males? All right. So here's our regulator, which goes in probably here. Is there instructions on this puppy? I don't know that that is an instruction. Oh, that is Teflon tape. And this is can't be instructions. All right, so these are my in and outs. And what I did decide was I thought this is where so this is just a little holder for that. All right, so we're not going to use this Teflon tape, but what we will do, well, those are kind of in there a little bit. What we will do is pull these out so that we can install the correct let me grab my blue tubing, because what we're going to do is we're going to test my regulator, excuse me, my compressor with the regulator to see actually how much it's putting out. So let me grab that stuff and I will be back. All right, it looks like as I was getting out my blue tubing, I've got fittings in here that will work for me. So we don't have to do these two with Teflon. So that saves us a little bit. And that was part of that. Okay, so I'll screw these in. And this is plastique. No, it's some type of cast-ish. That's probably tight enough for what we need to do. Looks good enough. All right. So I'm going to say this is in. So what we'll probably do is cut a little blue tube. And I don't know how this works. Oh. Ah, it has a little lock. All right, so we will cut a little. Maybe we'll do like this much. That's not bad. It felt a little cheesy, to be honest. Got a lot of tube. In worst case, you know, we'll order more. But, or would it have made more sense to keep it closer to the, all right, we'll try both. We'll try it close to the compressor because maybe that's the most accurate of readings. We are probably keeping this, but I will still defer to using my own Teflon. And I saw on a YouTube video about the proper way to run Teflon, and it was to make a string of the Teflon. I'd never seen this tip before, and obviously I'm not very good at it. But the idea was to thread the threads, and then once you've threaded the threads with the Teflon, you do this. So I thought I'd give it a try. Who knows? Who knows? And then we'll pop that in. That should be good enough. Don't need to crank it down. And then we will... Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going now... All right. We will run this, and then we will... We've got that. All right, so, and then we will run this, and let me get the other piece. So I'm going to close this down. I'm going to fully close this down so that we, all right, so that's locked down. So in theory, there's a lot of air to travel here. All right, so now in theory, what is it? What color? The green. All right, so we've got. So that green is operating at like. It's not even registering 20. Blue is. All right, so let's open this up and see if that changes. Ha! It's less. So it doesn't even register on the regulator. I think that's funny sad. So I'm wondering if maybe this is just too weak, and that's why I was getting, you know, on the tip here, why I was getting drops. I mean, it does work. I get mist, but you know, there's absolutely no reason for yeah, it's I'm not even at like 10 psi. Yeah, it's about 10 psi. Let's see what the blue does. About the same. And the yellow, a little bit less. Yeah, you can hear it struggling. So that's interesting. That's a very interesting. What can I do from a quick disconnect perspective? How can I, so we have this. Let me look for something to maybe attach to my compressor and then dial it down to truly 20 psi. Back in a few. Okay, so I took one of these, hopefully my quick detach fitting. I did not put Teflon. Again, this is a quickie test. Quickie test. All right, so my compressor is currently at 75 psi. So we're going to find out. I'm going to close that off. Okay, so there is 20 psi. All right, I'm going to fill my tank up. Actually, oh, that feels a heck of a lot better, misting wise. But again, if it gives me the same, so that's at 20, as you can see, 20 psi. So I will fill up some liquid. Be right back. So before I fill up with liquid, this thing, that's on there. That is not going anywhere. So I can make it lower, I can put it wherever. That's not going anywhere. That's a primo solution. Good stuff, craftsman. All right, so I'm sure somebody will say, well, what about when it's full? So that's, 90% full. Golden. All right, let's bring it over to the bench so that we can test the pressure. All right, so we're still at, greater than, we're still at 75% PSI. I've got this set to 20 PSI. And goodness, we've got all kind of shit going everywhere. We've got our bottle of water. I'm just trying to situate things so they don't fall, because this is kind of heavy with the quick connect. All right, that seems like it'll work. All right, so we're 20 PSI. I'm going to open, oh wow, that really, okay, we've got a lot of, you can see that. That's, okay, I'm turning the water down. And I'm going to try to, all right, so we've got some mist, but we still have the drip factor. So the drip factor is a lot less, I think. I'll have to rewatch the videos. So I have to decide is keeping this worth the $50, or do I do something like this? All right, so we will quick disconnect, and we will quick disconnect this, leaving everything as is. Plug in this puppy. Again, we have this set to 20. Not that that will matter. Whoops, because we don't seem to be getting that much PSI. So for those who are looking on the rainforest and see that this is advertised as 40 PSI, no, it's not 40 PSI, it's 10 PSI. All right, so now let's dry off our nozzle, or let's dribble droplet it. And let's see what we get. Yeah, we're not even registering, we're at 5 PSI on this, and this is set to 20. So we're not even getting, so we're getting a drip, but we're not getting spray. Okay, now we're getting spray. Getting more drip though. I'll have to rewatch. I mean, we're getting... I mean, it works. Maybe it's a question of, you know, fine-tuning the water. So I'll be honest with you. I do like this little fucker. And the reason I like it is because its size and portability. Because I can put this anywhere and I don't have to have 25 feet of blue, whatever, or moving my compressor, you know, next to every piece of equipment that I'm, you know, using. And am I going to use, so I guess the question comes down to, is the $50 that this thing cost worth, you know, not moving my compressor around? And, you know, I don't have an answer for that one. Don't have an answer on that one. So, yeah. Maybe in the comments, let me know what you guys would do. Would you bag on this for the $50 and say, F it, because the few times you're going to use coolant, just move the compressor close, you know, within a few feet, and then use the blue cable to this thing? I mean, that's a possibility. I think I'm going to keep this though, because I like the ability to measure that. So I want to say that this is a keeper, and I'll take this off my, actually no, I'll leave it on, because if I'm going to use mine, yeah, so I think, methinks I'm going to, yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm leaning both ways. This was 50 some odd dollars. It does not put out 40 PSI. It just doesn't. Less than 10 on all three settings, as you saw. But yeah, is it worth? Because, you know, in all honesty, when I'm doing other things like today, and you'll see videos, I don't know when this will show. Maybe those will show before this or after this. But, you know, doing stuff on the driveway where, you know, when I'm doing my Greenzilla, or Redzilla rather, Redzilla bead blasting, I move that compressor, that big DeWalt compressor, close to that. I had the DeWalt compressor out on the driveway blowing off the saw and the planer today. So maybe moving, you know, the DeWalt around a little bit is worth saving the $50 that this thing costs. So, you know, is this worth $50+? And I guess that's the question. And right now I'm thinking, you know, maybe it's not. So what I am going to do is backflow this, since I have removed my backflow preventer. And let's see how easy that is, because on this, it worked. I should get some serious backflow prevention, or some serious backflow. I do. All right, so that worked pretty good. Yeah, don't know what I'm going to do. Let me know what you guys think. Is this worth keeping for $50? I'm thinking no. Move the compressor around, and the fact that as tested, this is not 40 psi, it's 10, and that would be my Amazon justification for returning. So this little compressor is a keeper. I like the functionality, and yeah, that was interesting. All right, so I guess I'm waiting on, well, I haven't ordered it, so I haven't, there's nothing to wait on because it hasn't come in because it's not ordered. I will order Kool Mist from Little Machine Shop, probably a couple pints, because I can't see myself going through the gallons. And maybe that'll be yet another video. Take care for now. Hello, YouTubers. Reloading Bench back with you once again. And this is more goodies from our friends at LMS, Little Machine Shop. These guys, I tell you, talk about consistency, speed, efficiency. I don't know how big this shop is, but they have got it down. I'm going to tell you that right now. The stuff I order, I am consistently, let me grab my paperwork. I am consistently impressed. I had ordered a bunch of stuff from LMS around the lathe, the mini lathe, beginning in December, January. And what I found interesting is, wow, they ship quick. You know, you order on a Monday, you have it Wednesday, Thursday, maybe Friday. And when I ordered the mini lathe, the mini mill, that was on Tuesday after Martin Luther King Day on Monday. So Tuesday morning, I'm ordering that mill and all the stuff that you can't, I don't know, I think I published that video, you know, the 350-pound pallet delivery. That came on a Friday morning. These guys are just fast and they're efficient. And as a consumer, I appreciate that. I like it. And I love this bubble wrap too. It's different and it's worth saving because I like saving stuff. And they use good cardboard too. And for those of you who followed my channel for any period of time, you know my OCD-ness with certain cardboards, and this is quality cardboard. Not that that will matter to anybody. But when I was ordering my mill, there were a couple things that were out of stock, this being one of them. This is an R8 drawbar that I can put in, that if you've seen the drawbar that comes with the 6450, it's a little big, it's a giant T, and I wanted something a little more svelte. So this will get used, this will get added to the channel in the mill. And as we're talking about the mill, as I made my, which you probably haven't seen yet, my misting system, the cost of Kool Mist for a gallon is like, I'm just going to round up, I'm going to say 60 plus. I think they average like 62 to 65. And if I say 70, I'm sure that'll piss somebody off. I know I've seen costs of 69 as well. But then there's a shipping, obviously tax and shipping charge. And, you know, I'm going to say it averages out to be about 80 bucks for a gallon of Kool Mist, which is fine. I don't need a gallon of Kool Mist. I'll probably not even use this bottle of 16 ounces. So this quart bottle. But I thought, hey, since I am buying, why not pick up two because of the shipping cost? The difference between, you know, buying that and buying this and that, and buying this, that, and that, I think was $1 more in shipping costs. So it just made more sense to spend the extra $10 and get that, which is kind of funny because when you think about, I think there's 64 ounces in a gallon, 4 quarts. These are $10 a piece. That would be 40 bucks, but a gallon is more than 40 bucks. So go figure. Maybe my Common Core math is off. Maybe it's the caffeine from the coffee. But in any case, I love doing business with Little Machine Shop. I like the fact that it's enclosed in plastic, so if it spills, it doesn't ruin everything. I can't tell you how many times I've ordered stuff from other manufacturers, other vendors, other shippers, and especially liquids, and it shows up, and it's, I remember one specific issue with the rainforest and ordering ballastol. The can was dented and damaged, and it was leaking. As soon as I got the box delivered, I'm like, oh, this isn't good, because you see the stain from the fluid, and you're like, ugh, and you open it up, and it's just like, oh my God, you guys couldn't put it in a bag. So kudos, Little Machine Shop. I will continue to do business with you. Thank you much.